For as long as we've existed, humans have been completely obsessed with one impossible dream: living forever. And I mean obsessed. Kings, emperors, billionaires, some of the most powerful people who ever lived spent everything they had chasing it. And here's the twist: that chase has killed a lot of them. So the question is, after thousands of years of trying, are we finally about to crack it? Could you actually live forever? Let's get into it. Let's rewind. Way back. The hunt for immortality is, honestly, one of the oldest obsessions in human history. Nearly every ancient culture had a version of it: a magic potion, a fountain of youth, an elixir of life that would supposedly let you cheat death. And nowhere was this bigger than in ancient China. Emperors were desperate for it. They hired alchemists whose whole job was to brew a literal elixir of immortality. But here's the dark punchline. Those elixirs, they were often made of mercury, and gold, and arsenic. Poison. The most famous example is Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of China, the guy behind the Terracotta Army. He was so terrified of dying that he sent out expeditions and commissioned magicians to find the secret to eternal life. His alchemists gave him mercury pills, and they killed him. He died at 49, from the exact thing that was supposed to make him live forever. And he wasn't alone. At least 6 emperors of the Tang dynasty are thought to have died the same way. Mercury poisoning from potions meant to grant eternal life. So for most of history, the search for immortality didn't beat death, it sped it up. Okay, fast forward a few thousand years. Because that same obsession, it never went away. It just swapped the robes for lab coats. Today, we call it biohacking, and the modern face of it is a guy named Brian Johnson. Brian is a tech millionaire who sold his company for hundreds of millions and now spends around $2 million a year on a single mission: don't die. Literally, that's his slogan. He follows an insane routine, over 100 pills a day at his peak, a strict plant-based diet, bed at 8:30 every single night, no exceptions. He tracks over 100 different measurements in his own body. He even did a blood plasma swap with his teenage son to see if young blood would make him younger. And it gets wilder. He's reportedly having thousands of clones of his own organs grown in dishes, just so he can test drugs on them before trying them on himself. His actual goal? To make death, in his words, optional. He says he wants to live to the year 2140. But here's the honest part most people leave out. Even Brian hits walls. For 5 years, he took a drug called rapamycin, one of the most promising anti-aging compounds. Then he quit it because of the side effects. His blood sugar rose, his wounds wouldn't heal, which is kind of the whole story of biohacking. In a nutshell, real biology is way messier than the hype. And so far, nobody, no matter how rich, has actually reversed death. Okay, so that's the science. But now I want to take you somewhere much, much stranger. Because there's a theory that says you might already be immortal and just not know it. It's called quantum immortality. Stay with me, because this one bends your brain. You've probably heard of Schrödinger's cat, the cat in a box that's somehow both alive and dead until you look. It comes from a real debate in physics about what happens at the quantum level. One interpretation is called the many worlds theory. It suggests that every time something could go one of several ways, reality splits. The universe branches. In one branch this happens, in another branch that happens, and both are real. Now here's where it gets crazy. A physicist named Max Tegmark took this idea and applied it to you. To death. Imagine every time you could die, reality splits. In some branches, you die, but in at least one branch, by pure chance, you survive. And here's the mind bender. You can only ever experience the branches where you're still alive. You'd never experience your own death, because there's no you left in that branch to experience it. So from your point of view, you'd just keep surviving. Near misses, impossible luck, forever. Everyone around you watches you die, but you always wake up in the world where you didn't. That's quantum immortality. Terrifying, right? But before you panic or get excited, here's the reality check. This is a thought experiment, not a life plan. Almost every physicist, including Tegmark himself, thinks it doesn't actually work in real life. Death usually isn't a clean on-off switch, and the whole idea relies on perfect, impossible conditions. Tegmark's own conclusion? You should not expect to be immortal. So, don't test it. Please. All right. So where does that leave us? After emperors, billionaires, and mind-bending physics, will we ever actually be immortal? Here's the honest answer. Probably not. Live forever, never die, immortal. Most serious scientists think true immortality is still incredibly far off, maybe impossible. Because even if you cure aging, you've still got accidents, disease, and a body made of thousands of things that can break. But, and this is the real shift, the goal has quietly changed. Scientists today aren't really chasing live forever anymore. They're chasing something more realistic, dramatically more healthy years. There's a concept called longevity escape velocity. The idea is simple. Right now, every year you live, you lose about a year. But what if science advanced so fast that every year it added more than a year back to your life? Fix a bit of aging here, reverse some damage there, and in theory, you'd start outrunning death. Some optimists think we could approach that within decades. Plenty of scientists think that's wildly hopeful. And there are real, genuine breakthroughs happening. Drugs that clear out old zombie cells have extended the lives of mice by up to 30%. Scientists have literally reversed the age of cells in a lab. This stuff is real. But the truth right now is this. We can slow aging a little. We can maybe stretch out our healthy years. What we cannot do, despite thousands of years of trying, despite all the money on Earth, is beat death. Not yet anyway. So here's my question for you. If you could take a pill tomorrow that let you live for 500 years, would you actually do it? Watch everyone you know grow old, over and over, forever. Let me know in the comments. And if your brain likes questions like this, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.